Are you tired of hitting roadblocks in your dating life? Join me for a free masterclass on Wednesday, January 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, where I'll be revealing the 3 nice guy dating patterns that turn women off and what you should be doing instead. Unlock the secrets to creating genuine attraction. Click the link in the description to sign up now.
How in the hell did you pull Simone Biles?
I want to pause in her face, okay? Because she looks like she is like the happiest person that she's ever been in life. Every time I see her in a picture with her husband, her face has the face of a woman that is saying, I won, I got my man, I got the prize that I always wanted. Just the way she carries herself is already like that before he even says anything, all right? Anyway, continuing on.
I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees trying to answer.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now, when the right people look at you.
Yeah, that's,
You know what I'm saying?
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question, man.
Lord G.
Oh, they weren't ready for that answer. They weren't ready for this guy to be confidently saying, but wait, the real question is like, how did she get me? You know, I'm gonna let him go into the story of how that happened, but like the fact that he's able to have that attitude, he didn't say it in a way that was like mean or downing her. He just said, oh, the real question is like, how did she get me? How many times have you, if you guys looked like movies in like the 50s and 60s, all the plots are about that, about how you have these guys that are out there in the world trying to do their thing. And then there's some woman in the background that's pining for this guy and wanting him. And then by the end of the movie, she's been able to convince him that she should be around. Like, that's how movies were back in the day. Obviously, today, it's definitely flipped the script a bit, but like, this was actually a normal part of dating, was like, women were trying to convince guys as to why they should be with them long-term.
Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now you with
I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, so I'm just living, being me and myself. And COVID had just hit. But I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys are like, hey, man, you got to check out this app, And I'm like, nah, I'll check it out. Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So basically, it's like a dating app, but, you have to go through certain, like, criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally.
So what he's really saying is that this is a dating app for like people that are celebrities, that are elite people, and that in order to even get on the app, you had to have certain qualifications that lets people know, oh, you're the real deal. You're a big wig. You probably got a lot of decent money. So in other words, based on him being able to get on the app, he was already showing the app and demonstrating to the app why he deserves to be on there, because he is somebody that should be worth being chased by women on the app. So in other words, he's already putting himself on the app as the prize, because that's the only way you get on the app in the first place.
We have been on the app for a couple of days, man, and it's like she pops up, and I'm like, let me see who this is. Gymnastics. I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity, So I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her, and it said we matched, so I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout.
Pause. Okay, so. You guys, this is like a 101 class in like, if you're going to do online dating, and I have a whole program at my website on that too, but like, if you're going to do online dating, one of the things you notice is he's on the dating app. So he's already showing, yes, he wants to date somebody, but he's going about it in a way where he's not showing that he's thirsty to be in a relationship, right? He's not even chasing after a relationship. He's hoping to meet somebody to probably just have a hookup buddy, a close pal to be around at times, whatever, but he's not really focusing on the relationship part. And then what he said, he swiped, they matched. He's like, okay, great, we matched. All right, I'm gonna do some other stuff. What did he not do? Instantly try to contact her in the DMs. Hey, I saw your picture. You're so cute. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. No, he matched, which means that he probably swiped on her first, and then she saw him. Oh, he's okay. I'm gonna swipe. Boom, we matched. Oh yeah, that's so great. And now she's sitting there like, right, we matched. Like, is he gonna contact me now? Like, what's going on? And he didn't. He swiped, said, oh, we matched. That's great. And then went to go handle his business. He went to go do the thing he's doing to try to get towards his dreams and goals in the football league. So he wasn't staying on the app next to his phone, trying to worry about, what do I got to text this girl now to make sure that she likes me? He went on about his freaking business. And that's what you guys should be doing. Whether you're on online dating apps, whether you're in person, or whether you met a girl at a party and got a number, you should always be about the business of your goals are the number one thing on your list. Getting girls should be a 2, maybe 3 at best, right? But that should not be your end game. Your end game is you focus on the goal, because you'll find when you focus on goals, women were going to focus on you and see that you're focusing on your goals, and that's going to attract them. You focusing on them, you trying to put all your attention towards these women, it's going to turn them off a lot faster. And plus, we'll get to more of the story in a bit. Okay, here we go.
And I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, you know.
Cheesing. Oh, that's the look you want to get from your woman. The look that says like, oh, I know I was being a girl, but oh my God, you were just so cute. Like, that's the look that she's giving him right now.
Oh, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, take a shower and everything.
So what do we got so far? They matched. He went to go play a game, or went to practice for football. He comes back, and now she's already on his Instagram. So I'm assuming this app probably has it where your Instagram's connected or whatever. But anyway, she's already on his Instagram, already liking some stuff. And he's like, oh, she's liking some stuff. Well, gotta take a shower now. So again, all the moves he's making is saying like, I got time for this broad. I'll get to her when I get to her. That is a powerful way to move about in your dating life. That's why I tell you guys, you don't build attraction for women by constantly being on the phone. Women subconsciously don't want to envision you as the guy sitting next to your phone, waiting for her to text you, waiting to send emojis and smiley faces. None of these things are going to picture you in her head as a masculine guy. So it behooves you instead to do what? To save the texting and the messaging for when you're ready to actually make a move about meeting up with the person. Let's continue on.
Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app like, hey, you know what I mean? And man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college.
And these dudes don't believe him at all. But it's like, really, if a dude is steadfast focused on his goals, he doesn't have time to watch TV or to know about like Olympic sports or whatnot, because he's at the time the Olympics happen is like usually in August. That's training camp for them starts in like May or June. May or June or so. I don't follow the sport enough to know that, but I know that they at the very least start as early as July. So the point is that if he's training nonstop, he ain't got time to watch. And then the gymnastics event is like what? All of her part in the Olympics would be all like what, 5-10 minutes at most. So it's like, it ain't like if he misses an hour or so of gymnastics, he's missed her whole entire thing. If he was catching it at all,
And we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August. So I'm not paying attention to. So I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched, like,
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This was like a Tuesday, and we texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday, man. And we couldn't do much as COVID happened. Everything was shut down. So she came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man.
He's being very, very careful with his wording and out of respect for her, and I appreciate that. But the real what happened is when he says, "Oh yeah, she 45 minutes away, she came down." So basically, what he's saying is, so we couldn't do much, so she drove 45 minutes to come down to see me so we could hook up. That's what happened. Like, she came down, they talked a little bit on the app. She felt enough about him to where she came down. She came down to see him. So let's just go over what's happened so far, right? Met on the app. She liked his pictures. She went on his Instagram first. She messaged him. She agreed to come down 45 minutes from where she lives to meet up with him. What is she doing here, people? She is chasing him. And what do I always tell you? If she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you. Why? Because she's too busy thinking about ways to get near you to have any thoughts about getting rid of you. But that can only happen if you're carrying yourself in a way where you're not chasing after the other person, you're unbothered. If she happens to meet up and can come around, great. But if not, you will find other things to do. When you carry yourself like that, it makes you a very attractive and desirable man to women, because women want men that are indifferent and can move about in the world with or without her, and how like it's not going to faze him if she can't meet up. And so many guys in her world get phased by, oh, I have to cancel today. Oh my God, what should I do? Or like the guy are like, oh, it's been 8 months and she's texting her exes. Oh my God, what should I do? Like, that shows that you are bothered by women. you have to be unbothered by what they're doing because it's that thing where like they're always going to change up and switch up, you know? But to the point, yeah, all the moves that she's done so far are indicative of a woman that found a guy that she likes. She knows what she wants. And now she has a dilemma, which I'll get into in a second. Anyway.
So you was really the catch in...
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Oh, that's where he got in trouble. That's where the internet went ablaze, where he said, oh my God, I feel like I'm the catch. Now, I'm going to pause this for a second here. Let me ask you guys a question. If Simone Biles had been the one being interviewed on here, and she happened to say, oh yeah, well, I think women are the catch, do you think this would have been a story? The answer is no. But funny enough, throughout most of history, people just agreed and knew that men were the prize. This is why kings had concubines. This is why the man that was most respected in the town also had most of the women in town. This is why people could be rich and just cheat on their wives and their wife would agree with it because they understood the hierarchy of all that stuff, which is that a man that has means and a man that has, capital, he's a mostly desired guy, right? And it's funny how in today's age, we've suddenly flipped that to where it's like, well, women need to see themselves as the prize. And if men see themselves as the prize, it's cocky and it's arrogant and it's putting the woman down. And that's not what he said at all in this thing. Okay. But let's continue on with this thing. Okay. Let me add us back here. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Continuing on.
Yeah. So she really booked you.
She did though.
Is what you're saying.
Because I was fighting it.
So in truth, if I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles, is what you're saying.
At the time,
that's what
I'm not going to say that.
That's what you're saying.
I was afraid.
See, and what's happened is the internet took that part and ran with it. Oh, he said he didn't really want her. It's not what he said. What he said was this.
I was afraid to commit. I'm like, this is my third year. I'm trying to, I'm like, it's kind of early.
So what's he saying right there? He said, I'm trying to, What he's really saying there is that he thought he was going to get on the app, find some girls to hook up with, and just that be it. He wasn't trying to do anything serious. And so this is where, for those of you guys that want to be in a serious relationship, it's almost like a Jedi mind trick of like, in order to get into a relationship, you have to not focus so heavily on getting into a relationship. Because when you walk about it in that way, you're not going to be pressing any one woman or making her feel forced to have to choose you to be in a relationship. But by not forcing them, it makes them now want to compete for your attention. Women want to be in competition for you, and they want to feel as though they have other women out there that they're fighting against, even if they're invisible. So let's look at Simone Biles, right? She's a pretty enough girl, but she knows if he's on the app, that means the fact that he can afford to show the lifestyle that he needs to show in order to get on the app in the first place means that he's going to be a high pick. So now she has a dilemma, which the dilemma is, do I try to sit back and hope that he comes to me? Or do I look realistically at the fact that this guy he's in a football team that does well enough-ish, but that he's probably going to be going places at some point in his life. He's going to have high status. And for right now, even though I may be more well-known, my gymnast career, as I get older, my bones are going to get weak. It's going to be over. He has at least another good 5 or 10 years in him for football. So at that point, do I wait for him to try to hit me up, or do I let him know that, yes, we matched, but that I actually really realistically want him to be the guy that I get with, which means I got to go now check his pictures. I got to now leave comments under it. I got to be the one to reach out and say, hey, and hope he takes over the conversation. I got to be the one to come to him. She knows the game that she's playing. She knows the value that she brings to the situation. But more importantly, she knows his current value, which is pretty high, and she knows what his future value is going to be. In short, she understands the prize that he is and recognizes it's better to capitalize on it now at the age of 26 that she's at, while she still has relatively decent looks and is still, in the running, versus trying to wait until she's like 35, because I got to wait for a guy that's on my level, blah, 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 blah. And then she's going to be out in the cold, because at 35, for women, unfortunately, she can get some guys, but the guys that she wants that are in their like 40s, maybe 50s, they're still able to date back to 21. And so the question is, does she wait for him until she's 35, at which point he done got plenty of broads and can probably get a younger version of her when she's 35, then he can get that. So the point is this, is that she recognizes the game that she's with, right? But again, women today are not recognizing that this is true. And I'll get into that in a second. Let me finish this up here.
But, you know, like I said, man, it happened when you least expect it. And we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly. You know, we just laughed the whole night.
So I feel this part is your.
What you're doing right now is confirming that she is actually the best in the world at flipping the script.
She flipped the
She
script.
shot her shot.
She did though. Because if she wouldn't have messaged me, chances are, like, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would just, mine would have went somewhere else and wouldn't have thought to, you know, but she messaged me, and I mean, like I said, the rest is history, man. We
honestly, in truth, Simone Biles is lucky.
For what?
Cause she took a chance. She lucky cause she wouldn't have all that. Jonathan said she wouldn't have all that.
Hey, now.
Cause he ain't had time.
Jonathan,
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Oh, I like her commentary here, right? So yeah, but he's talking about the fact, yeah, like he's saying, look, what is he really saying? If he was like, if she wouldn't have messaged me, I probably wouldn't have messaged her. Why can he say that so confidently? Because the part he's not saying is because realistically, on or off the field, or like on the app or off the app, I got a lot of options. I go someplace after a game and women are coming up to my table and want to do something for a little bit for no change, really. They'll just do it because I got the status, right? And so, yeah, she messaged me. So therefore I knew, okay, I'll give her a shot. But if it don't work out, I got 10 other chicks down at the club I can go see tonight. And I got other women on the app that are probably going to hit me up. So that's a guy that's living in abundance. That's a guy that understands that he has built up his value enough up to this point to where he is emphatically the prize. But why is he the prize? We'll get to that in a second. Here we go.
We matched. I was just the first to message. As soon as I clicked, ooh, I like him, it matched. So he had already liked my profile, which that means
She
I was
always
just the first.
say we matched
No,
first.
baby, we matched, but I was the first to message.
Yeah, you
I was not
messaged me.
scared.
She messaged.
Yep.
She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared. I
See,
give her that.
I know what I like and I know what I want.
Y'all are young newlyweds.
Period.
Don't let people bring that shit in y'all house. Don't let this man do that. Don't do that.
I'm not trying to bring them shit nowhere, Freddie. This man.
So she's able to tell the story like, hey, look, real talk, like, yeah, he liked me first technically, but it's like, yeah, I had to match up with him. And then, yeah, I sent him the message or whatever. So notice she's not bothered. She's not bothered by the fact that she had to send a message first. She's not bothered by the fact that she had to go to see him. She just, again, when women have high interest, I tell you guys, when women have high interest, they don't care about the things they have to jump through in order to get you. All they care about is the fact that they see you as the prized possession, and they're willing to do the things they need to do to make sure that they stand out enough to you. And what most of you guys are doing is you're trying to be like, how can I stand out to her? And I got to jump through. And it's like, historically, women understand the chain of command. They understand that they're looking for a guy that they wanted to be the leader of the household. Women can't believe in you as the leader of the household without thinking that you're the prize and worthy enough to even have that role in the first place. But anyway, I want to play this last part that she brings up because it's very, very telling.
A hell of a safety.
She's
He
only
will
the best
never
on the
be
planet.
as good as a safety as this little motherfucker is as a gymnast. You agree, bro?
You know what? He might, because the other day I said, you know what? In a couple years, nobody is going to call him Simone Biles' husband. They'll call me Jonathan Owens' wife.
Facts right there. She said it right there. She knows the end game of this, which is she knows it, as cute as she is right now, she's 26. She got a finite amount of time. And she knows what's coming down the pipe, which is like, I think about gymnasts I used to follow back in the day, like Dominique Dawes and like Mary Lou Retton, all those people, like they still have names, but they don't have big names still, unlike a lot of the people that played football that retire and then go on to do commercial deals. They go on to be commentators. They're still in the public eye. Shoot, what's his face? God, the guy that had a football game every single year. Like these dudes continue to be famous and continue to make money, like big money. Like Simone Biles will make her money. She's been on a cereal box. She's done some stuff. She'll make some money now. As she gets older, that the amount she's able to make is going to be a lot less. And so she knows she needs to hitch her wagon to this guy right now while he's building, because he's already in a good place, but she sees him getting bigger to where people are going to barely remember her name at all, but they are going to know that she is his wife, right? That's what tends to happen over time is that these guys start to get the bigger name. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, hey, you're Jonathan Owens' wife. He's still building his name. She's been in the game a long time. So that's why her name's bigger right now. That's fine. But to the point, it's like, yeah, she sees what's about to happen. And so that's why she's unbothered by people in the media saying, oh my God, he said he's the prize and how dare this and that. Because she, at the end of the day, real talk, women want to see their guy as the prize. But, with this whole conversation, you got to think about why it is that men emphatically are the prize. And what it basically comes down to is a few things, right? But the first thing it comes down to is supply and demand. So what that means is this. I thought about this today, right? Let's say you have a guy and he has 200 women in front of him, right? Chances are that guy will probably be attracted to at least, we'll say, 150 of those women. Like, because our scale typically tends to be like, okay, it goes from like, kind of cute and whatever to like, oh, like hella hot. But within that range of people, we'll give each one a fair shot because, depending on how we talk to them, if they're nice, whatever like that, when they talk to us, how they smell, how their physique is, then we can adjust some things accordingly. But we'll probably give like 150 of those women a shot, right? Now let's look at women. If a woman has 200 guys in front of her, to start out with, 100 of those guys won't even exist to her. Like, low man on the totem pole, she won't even consider those guys that she would ever even have on a roster. So they're just invisible to her, right? So now you're down to 100 guys. Of those 100 guys, she's going to start picking apart things. This one's too big. This one's too skinny. This one has weird shoes on. This one's pants I don't like. This guy smells kind of funny. I don't like his mustache. He's kind of balding. And she's going to end up narrowing down the guys that she feels she'd want to get with to like, we'll say 20 guys, right? So now we have a problem. The problem is is that this woman has 20 guys, right? And we'll say those 20 guys, like the top 20 of guys that have ever existed in life, right? The problem is those 20 guys have all the other 150 women that want them, right? Which means who has the pick of the litter? The guy does. The guy is now the one that everybody's pining for because there is less of them that all the women want, right? And so because of that, men are the prize. Because you have all these, like I said, 150 women over here. Those 150 women, they see this one guy and they're like, I don't know. But they're going to look at like the remaining 20 guys out of the 200 and be like, we all want to get that guy. Which means there are now 20 guys that are cream of the crop that have pick of all these women. And women understand this on a subconscious level, even if they can't verbalize it because it means like, oh my God, I got to admit that like I'm not actually the prize. But look at what the things that women want out of guys, right? They want a guy that is at their level or higher. They want a guy that's more emotionally stable than them. They want a guy that's more physically fit than them. Everything that women want out of guys indicates that they want guys that are better than them. And the guys that are on their level, guess what? They're not checking for those guys. So that means that they don't see those guys as good enough in order to get. In fact, I looked up this earlier. Let's make sure I get this right. The dictionary.com. What is the definition of the word prize? Prize. Prize means a reward for victory or superiority, as in a contest or competition. Something that is won in like a lottery or the like. So a reward for victory or superiority, as in a contest or competition. Women are constantly competing for the top 20% of guys. And their hope is that they're going to be able to show themselves out enough so that guy can see him. Just like Miss Simone Biles did when she was like, oh, I'm on the app and we matched, but like I had to make sure I was in front of his face. I had to message him, like his pictures, go to his house, hang out with him, whoop-de-woo, like all that stuff, right? She recognizes the game. But like women are in this thing now where it's like, if I'm not considered the prize in the relationship, a guy's going to treat me bad or a guy's going to mishandle me, this and that. And that's not what's going to happen. Because here's the thing, guy, being the prize is actually a lot more work. And in order for a guy to even be the prize, he has to do a lifetime worth of stuff in order to build up enough status, rather, to convince women out there that he is now the prize. And I want to stress too, it's not even like a money thing, right? Because I thought about this today, about the fact that like there are rich guys that have all the money, all the status, all the places you can think of, whatever like that. And yet they still struggle with women. They still can't attract women. They're still trying to use their money and influence to be able to say, hey, look at me. I got money and influence. Please like me. And those guys still can't get women, which leads to the other very important point. And it's this, is that in order for a man to consider himself the prize, he has to know how to connect with women. Like, it's the irony of the fact that men are the prize, but they're judged as the prize in part based on how they're able to connect with women when they get a chance. So let's look at this guy, right? He's going about his life. He's chasing his goals, doing NFL stuff or whatever. And then someone else comes along. So what did she see in him? She saw he's going after his goals, his dreams, yada, yada, yada. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, oh, but he's got money, this, and that. But here's the thing. At the point that they finally connected, she had to like what he was saying, had to find him funny, had to get enough excitement out of him to feel as though it is worth her taking a trip from her house 45 minutes away to come to this guy's place, right? And so that's the thing that guys don't get, is that, yes, the money part, I always tell you guys, get your money up, get your goals up, get your dreams up, do all that stuff. It will definitely help you. But if when the opportunity presents itself, you don't actually have the skills necessary to connect with a woman on an emotional level, on a physical level, etc., then you are not going to be seen as the prize. And there are rich men out there that if they were to go into a room and be like, hey, I got money, blah, 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 all the women in that room would laugh him out of the room, because even if he's got money and influence, he does not have the actual skill set to just have the energy that says, hey, I can take it or leave it. I'd love to date some of you women out in here, but you know what? I don't need you, but I'd love to have you around. I can see how you could add to my life, but I'm going to probably add more to your life. Like, this is the kind of bravado that is healthy and perfectly fine for you as a guy to have. Because understand, I've said this before on the show, right? Like, a woman's value is based in, like, oh, she's pretty. Can she be cordial? Can she talk to people? Can she have a good attitude, right? Most of the guys' value is based in, like, are you willing to die for your woman? Like, the prize you get for getting a woman by your side is that if anything harm comes her way, you got to be down to fight and or die for her, right? So just on that alone, you should be looking at, okay, based on that, on top of you're building yourself up to a level where you can, have the money, you can potentially like have a good job and have a car and a house, but also you've built up the social skills and the know-how to know how to interact with women, how to make them feel the vibe that indicates that, oh my God, this guy is now like the guy I want to get. And then they want to chase after you. It is very rarely a good thing when you as the guy are seeing the woman as the end-all be-all prize, because what that means, that action means that you're putting on a pedestal. And as I've seen time and time again, putting women on pedestals rarely works, because women don't want to be looking down on you. Women don't want to look down on their man and think, oh my God, I'm so much better than him, because they're going to go to their girlfriends and have conversations about you. And they want to be able to say things like, oh, he made me feel emotionally safe. Oh my God, we went on this big trip, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he took care of everything at the house. He built stuff up. What they don't want to have is the conversation of, oh, I paid for all this stuff and I built this stuff up and oh, I can't. Like, they don't want that conversation. And so this is why it behooves you guys to really see yourselves more and more as the prize, right? But here's the thing. I will say this, is that I think there are too many guys out there right now that are saying, well, all men are the prize and they themselves are not the prize. And I could see how women would get upset by that, because the reality is not every guy out there is acting like the prize right now. Being the prize means building yourself up to a status whereby other women, when they see you and feel you, recognize that you're the prize. And again, the money and stuff helps, but it's not about how much money you have. It really is about, like, do you know how to handle women? And as I stressed before, part of the way that I became better with women was understanding that my dating patterns were out of whack. I didn't have a plan of action when I was trying to date these bras. I was just like, oh, I just hope that she says yes to a date. Oh, I hope she says yes to a hookup. I had no plan for how that was going to happen. I had no plan for what to do after that kind of stuff happened. And so even when I started getting hookups, it was like, okay, I'm getting hookups, but then I get like 1 or 2 hookups from that person and then no follow-ups. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's because I didn't have a plan of action and I had not built myself up to level in terms of my own self-esteem and in terms of my confidence to be able to think that I could actually get a woman beyond just, a hookup or a makeout session or a 1 or 2 dates, And so it really behooves you as a guy to really start studying yourself, start looking at what things am I doing wrong that could possibly be pushing women away. Because if it's just one woman, that's different than if it's like every time you try to date somebody, it's constantly one date and then no more dates. Another date, no more dates. One hookup, done one hookup again. Like if that's the pattern that you're currently on, then there are things that you've been doing that unfortunately have been holding you back. Now, I have a webinar coming up that talks about this. It's called the 3 nice guy dating patterns that are holding you back from success or something like that. But the point is that it's at the link in the chat box. I highly recommend you sign up for that webinar. It's on January 10th, which is next Wednesday. But suffice to say, whether you sign up for that webinar or whether you listen to some other coach or whatever like that, you really need to start looking at beyond just women. Like look at yourself. Look at what things are you doing now that you could be doing better? What things are you doing now that are holding you back? And more importantly, in what ways can you show up better just in life in general that will make women look at you and automatically think that guy's the prize? Because dating gets a lot easier when women see you as the prize. But that also goes to you have to know how to connect with women in order to fully be the prize in the first place, all right? So if you work on that, then you will start to get better results. And again, it starts with learning this stuff. So you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can sign up for coaching. You can check out one of my books or programs, or you can sign up for the free webinar training that's happening next week at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday. I would love to have you there and really give you more insights into what you could be doing today to start getting better dating success tomorrow. All right. So hopefully that helps you out.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man.